What's going on, YouTube? Find some green here with Dirt and Diamonds Gaming. As we near the end of Season 1, I wanted to give a quick review of the state of the game. Some good, some bad, some what's the point, and what to look forward to on the horizon as we approach Season 2. Let's start with some of the good. The power creep, for all intents and purposes, made the game enjoyable over the last 60 days to a degree. The captains, especially the core captains, have made theme team building fun. That is, if you had enough cards for your team that have come out. If not, the other captain card that they've released through packs have been some solid options along the way. Yeah, not all of them, but at least Santana, Ortiz, Kershaw. Hoffman at some point I'm sure will be worth something. The cards they provided through Team Affinity have been fun to use through all three chapters of Season 1. Gameplay has been touch and go, where there are still too many foul balls, and you can feel when it's just going to be one of those innings. I've been on both sides of this, and I've accepted it. It's just the way SDS intends for their game to play. It is what it is. I hate that phrase, but it is what it is. This doesn't fall into the good category, though I would say, as I have in previous videos, the game looks good, and provided you aren't playing somebody with a hamster wheel powered internet connection, it can feel pretty decent most of the time. On to the bad, where we're not going to start off talking about packs, but I promise you I'll get there. I want to tell you that the XP, the way you earn XP is a major problem in this game. The lack of programs is a major problem in this game, like a major problem in this game. So if you come down and you go to your programs, the other programs, not Team Affinity, because Team Affinity is its own thing, okay? We've had the Classics program with Bellinger, we've had the Jackie Robinson Day program, we've had the Egg Hunt program, the Starter program at launch, and the Spring Breakout program, which is at launch. So technically speaking, they have given us a whopping 3 programs if you don't include all of your season drops. That's not great. I mean, it's nowhere close to great. The season award drops is weekly, but it really is just one program that they went and stretched out over 2.5 months. I would have preferred if they kept it where it was the same, and they flooded us with all the season award cards with, a month to go where they're all 97 through 99s, and had just given us a whole bunch of Tops Now cards along the way like they used to. O'Neal Cruz would have been a cool card to use if he was a 97, 99. It's not like what he's done has changed, and I'm sure that when next season rolls around, if he does something else, then they'll probably give him another one. But that's not really the point. He could have been a fun card. I'm sure people are using Cal Raleigh, and he's a fun card because he's a switch hitter. Some of these other cards they release, whether it be through the drops or through the packs, like Tanner Houck, could have been a really fun card to use with a higher overall. Because at this point, with the way his stats are, it's not great. It's not as nice as it was before. Although I guess that is still part of the power creep. I'm just saying it would be nice if we got all the season award cards at the end of the month. Well, not the end of the month, but with the last month left in the cycle. There are other programs that could have done, though. They could have worked in retro lightning cards in the season award drops, and then given us the actual season award cards at the last month. They could have, stayed with the old City Connect program, where there was actually a program to do, and it would give you a card to earn during it. And yeah, you'd have to do stat missions with their team, but that was always kind of fun. It gave you an excuse to go play Conquest with it. And they could have incorporated XP into that, and they could have done this into that, and there could have been packs, or there could have been this, or there could have been something, instead of just throwing us a Conquest map that really has nothing to do with it. I mean, shit, I'll show you, because this is how much fun I think that playing offline is nowadays this year. Right, let's go look at my Conquest. I haven't done the Cleveland map. I did TA Chapter 3. I didn't do the Mother's Day map. I didn't do the Mets map. I didn't do the Rays map. I didn't do the Tigers map. I didn't even finish Kendall Graven, which I probably could have because his card is, or was at least, somewhat usable. I didn't do Conquest Chapter 2, and I didn't do the Phillies map. Yeah. The City Connect program doesn't exist anymore. And the City Connect jerseys, they're cool, but aside from the jersey, you didn't really give me a reason to play. And with the jerseys that I have for my creative team, right? I mean, everybody has their own opinion. I like the way my jerseys look. I got a nice looking logo. I like the way my team sets up. And if you guys have seen the fixing logo glitch, my logo actually shows up instead of that stupid crap they gave us at the beginning. So I see no reason to grind through to get those jerseys because I don't need them. And yes, some people will, and I know if you're a fan of a team, you're probably going to want it. That makes sense, but there could have been a program. There could have been XP tied into the program that would have helped you along with the reward path. Because the reward path this year, it sucks. It absolutely sucks. Yeah, they've been pumping shit out for the last now 3 weeks. Double XP weekend almost every weekend. It's been 2 out of the last 3 weeks. Or something like that. You know, massive amounts of XP that's being able to be earned through BR and through now the event and ranked seasons. And yeah, the season rewards or the season awards has a decent amount in it now compared to like the first time I went through. But it's so poorly put together. They could have done so much better. You know, there was nothing wrong with the way the programs just worked for the most part. I think the biggest complaint last year was that there was too much CPU grinding with the programs they released, but they altered that towards the end of the year. They made it where there were more online missions. They made it so you could collect the cards if you really wanted to, which I wasn't a fan of, and they still have that part in it this year. But they didn't have to go and revamp everything, and they didn't have to go and take so many programs out. Like, I haven't gone back and looked at 23 to see how many other programs we got over the course of the first 60 plus days, but it just really feels like this game's lacking. It really does. The XP cap, the rate that you earn XP through the first 2 months of this game has been atrocious. Most people can't treat this game like it's a full-time job. And I know I've probably said this already. I'm sure I even have a video that I've already stated this, but the fact of the matter is that it hasn't changed. Okay? Most people can't treat this like a full-time job. I have, between me and one of my buddies, there's over like 200 hours. And I'm not there yet. Like, I'm close at this point. But I'm not there yet. I've just crossed over 1 million. There's 19 days left. I took Jimmy with the first one. I probably should have taken Andy because I'm a Yankees fan. But I took Jimmy because out of all the positions, shortstop is probably the one that hurts the most right now. And I know I've seen people running Jimmy in center field, which is funny because it's not even one of his secondary positions, but apparently he still plays with a silver shield. I've got 19 days to get another 100 plus thousand XP. Last year, I would spin that wheel about 30 times through the course of one XP reward path. I'll be lucky if I spin it 5 times. That's if. Because I don't have 4 hours a day or 3.5 hours a day, whatever it takes to get to 15,000 gameplay XP. And on the nights where I don't feel like playing online, I don't really know what they expect you to do. Because if you're not playing online, you don't get much. Right? And if you're not playing online, then yeah, you just don't get much. But even when you play online, if you're not actually hitting one of the thresholds, you still don't get a lot. I played a 9-inning game one night, and I got like 1,500 XP. This is for a 9-inning game. It took 45 minutes. I played one game where I scored 7 runs in an inning. The guy quit. I got 1 stop. 1. That's the equivalent of leaving a shiny a shiny penny as a tip for a waitress. Like, why bother? Just give me nothing. It's insulting. That's all that is. I don't really want to get too far into gameplay, but briefly touching on gameplay, the sense of urgency with the fielders isn't as high as they made it seem like it was going to be. The locked-in animations that remove user control happen way too frequently, whether it be that half-ass backhanded slide in the infield or the elongated super slow-motion dive at third and first base, the outfielders locking their feet into the ground when you can't move because they took a half step back on a line drive and it won't let you move them forward. That stupid, goofy animation where the ball's going to be over their head and instead of continuing to just run so they don't lose momentum, they flail out their glove like it's going to do anything when we all know it's not, and it slows them down, because I've been complaining about that since last year, and it's still in the game. Foul balls are obnoxious. I think everybody knows that by now. And the strike zone around the black is non-existent. They have to at least make it where it's 50-50. Because it doesn't feel like it's 50-50 right now. If you try to pitch to contact, or if you try to pitch around the black, or, just outside the zone, because of the fact that it's never called a strike, people just sit back and take pitch after pitch after pitch after pitch after pitch, and it's frustrating. You know, if I wanted to throw fastballs down the middle all day, then that'd be one thing. But, you know, you just go play home run derby at that point. Invite your friends, see who hits more home runs on home run derby. Up the difficulty. Whoever's better. Yay. There you go. You know, the BR change they made was a joke. There have been spreadsheets tracking awards for as long as I can remember, and it's never mattered before. It only matters now because SDS doesn't like players farming stubs, and farming's in air quotes, because I don't know if I would consider going 10-0 and BR farming stubs. You need to be pretty good at the game, and you still need to have a little bit of luck on your side to continuously go 10-0. Now, yeah, there are accounts and people that have figured out how to make sure they always go 10-0, and those unscrupulous fellows have managed to screw everything up for all of us. That being said, I don't go 10-0. I don't even know if I go 10-1. I usually get to like 7 or 8 wins, and then I run into a buzzsaw of some guy who's cracked out of his fucking mind, and that's the end of it. But it is what it is. Freeze off in co-ops is still absolutely abysmal. I don't know when they're going to fix it. It's been 3 years, and I know they keep trying to improve it, but it just doesn't seem like they're getting anywhere. Moving on to the packs, yesterday they dropped a gigantic amount of content. And while Mookie and Gunnar were great free 99s, they still hit us with another 400k Friday. Every Friday is a 400k Friday. I mean, here, I can show you, because I know we've done this before, but every Friday is a 400k Friday. If you go look at the buy packs, oh, I forgot they gave us Freddie Freeman, right? That's 120,000 you could spend there. That's 150,000 you can spend there. So just between those two alone, that's 270,000. That's another 37 and change. That puts you over 300,000, and that's another 95 right there. Okay, that's your 400k Friday. Every Friday, 400k Friday. And it doesn't include the fact they dropped Adley on us this week. So you're really looking at 475 at a minimum, because if you're purchasing, well, why the hell not? Right? But that's unlimited. You can buy that as much as you want. And then you have this atrocity of a vault pack that they've now switched, where it doesn't include golds, but almost every single time it's nothing but the base round, because I can't tell you the last time I saw a featured item. And I think it's cute that they still have your BR rewards and your ranked season rewards in there, because why was any of that ever important? So, you know, there's that. There's a lot about the game that I don't particularly enjoy. I can't lie to you. I don't like the direction they've headed. I'm still hopeful that they very well might fix some things. You know, I don't know how they think that they can possibly sustain asking people to spend 400,000 subs every single Friday. I ain't doing it. You know, yeah, I went Cattell Marte hunting on the 30,000. I made a good amount of stubs off of the roster update, so I was like, hey, why not? And the first 4 packs sucked, and on the 5th pack, yeah, I hit them. I got lucky. I definitely got lucky. I should probably sell them immediately. I'm probably not going to. I'll use them for maybe 2 weeks, and as we get closer to the end of season 1 cycle, then I will probably sell him off, because I don't know why anybody would keep anything at this point. If it's not locked down, you should probably sell it. But again, we will get into that entire thing of how I think you should go about it and what you need to do to prepare for season 2 in the next video. With that said, I don't expect everything to be free, and I don't think that it should be. But the current game cycle seems to be trying to pry open people's wallets at an alarming rate. It's basically every week. And that's just, I don't know why they've switched gears as hard as they have. It's not like they ramped up to it. It's just, bam, right in your face every week. I think we're on like chase card number 13 at this point. Maybe it's either 12 or 13. There were 10 all of last year. It's kind of obnoxious. So some of you, like myself, may be asking, well, what's the point? And if you're asking yourself the question, I have to agree with you, because I'm not quite sure how we got to where we are. In less than 20 days, every card that you've grinded for, flipped the market for, or flat out bought with money is going to be essentially useless. You're allotted 4 wildcard slots that are going to be locked behind an XP program wall with their really shitty XP cap. And I really don't understand how in the world they took what everyone viewed as the worst iteration of the game from last year and doubled down on it and somehow managed to make it worse, because it feels like it's going to be worse. I don't understand how after all the surveys they had us fill out that this is what they came up with. It baffles me how they sat down for their content and concept meeting and this was suggested, and the employee that suggested it wasn't immediately fired. I just don't get it. No, what's on the horizon? Well, Season 2 is barreling down the track like a runaway freight train, heading straight for us. I'm guessing the only thing to do there is to get prepared, and like I said, I'll have a video on that soon. I know people are skeptical about Season 2. You have every right to be, and I know why I am. My hope is Season 2, or my hope for Season 2, is that they're listening to the community. They've shown over the last 4 weeks or so that they've been trying to take some of our feedback and implement it into the game. The Classic program had an earnable Classic pack, which was sellable. Season's Reward has earnable non-sellable packs every week, which isn't great, but at least it's something. They've been increasing the XP in the programs, though this may just be to bolster everyone's program progress to an acceptable number. That way they don't get their asses handed to them. They did raise the TA points in TA3 for your single player missions, and they did add a total bases mission. This I think has like 10,000 TA points. You know, this is after the community pissed and moaned about how there's just a war on offline players. So at least they're acknowledging that they're not doing everything perfectly. Now, I'm not saying that it's perfect. Now, our Season 1's probably going to be reset to 87s and 89s at launch, just like it was. But I am saying there's a chance that maybe they'll improve Season 2 after what many appear to view as an overall disappointing Season 1. They're going to have to do something. I don't know how many of you play college football. I don't know how many of you play football. But July 19th is coming. Technically, it's July 16th because they do the 3-day early access, kind of like the show did. The sizzle trailer looked pretty sweet. And yeah, it's EA, but it's been a decade since we've had a college football game. They're also providing online Dynasty mode for 32 users, something the MLB franchise players have been clamoring for and haven't gotten. They're offering Ultimate Team as well, and it seems to be like they're also going to be doing a weekend league. Somewhat similar to Madden. I don't know what the logistics are of it. We're going to find out more as they release all their information. And I know not all baseball fans are football fans, but I will say this. The last NCAA football sold 1.5 million copies over the last decade. Now, yeah, their numbers probably spiked up considering it was the last one that they were going to be making, and I'm sure people bought some after the original release. But if you go look at the overall standings and game history for this entire game, there's only been 734,000 ranked season players. Now, I know that doesn't include Road to the Show, and I know that it doesn't include your franchise players, but it's still only 734,000 ranked season players. NCAA sold more than double our ranked player base. All I'm saying is that if Season 2 is a complete disaster, I wouldn't be surprised to see a player base drop off sooner than usual. There was a considerable drop off when Madden came out last year, and EA's offering Madden and college football as a bundle, both of them being your premium bundle. Okay, and it's only $150 instead of $200. Now, yeah, it's $150, but if you're buying college and you were planning on buying Madden, you're probably grabbing that one. And then if they double down and they allow you to transport your rosters from college into Madden like they used to, then your franchise players aren't coming back. And it doesn't matter if they're Diamond Dynasty players here, they could be Dynasty to franchise players there. It's possible. That's all I'm saying. Now, like I said, I'm hopeful they're listening to the community and have a solid plan for Season 2. And I'm willing to withhold judgment until we see what their plan is. Do you have faith in SDS for Season 2? Am I completely off base? I'd love to hear your thoughts. If you made it this far, please consider leaving a like, subscribing, and clicking the notification bell. It helps with that damn algorithm. As always, I appreciate the time. And until next time, you have a good one.